Welcome to episode 163 of the Corey Shepherd podcast. This time is the real episode 163, right? I know I said that by mistake last week. Welcome back to everybody who's been listening and been tuning in from wherever in the world you're tuning in. I appreciate it. I see the slow times reach because people on vacation and things. I was always watching numbers when we close to vacation and I don't say already. When are they going on vacation? I go and start to go on vacation too, right? So just to make sure I'm rejuvenated and rested so I could deliver when all they out, right? But welcome back. I hope everybody here. I hope everybody had a good week and a safe week. And we're starting off the week with some rough news and rough news. I know everybody would have seen it by now. And I just want to express condolences to the family of Ricardo Drue. May your soul rest in peace. Walk good. What do you say? 38, 39 years old. They say he found unresponsive. And by the time we hear the news, he had already passed. You know, there's nothing that could prepare you for this kind of news. And I talking about us, right, as fans, as well-wishers. Some of them as co-workers. You see a lot of the industry talking about him, which I'll talk about a little bit as well. But I can't imagine what it's like for his parents, his fiancée, Patrice Roberts. He have 5 children, you know. It's not an easy thing. And you're not expecting anything like this from somebody so young. Like, I always talk here about the fact that I always do these dedication episodes, right? When calypsonians or soca artists or people in the industry pass away, I feel like it's part of my duty to highlight these things, right? So that we know a little bit more about the people who shape what we love so much, you know, this culture that we say we love so much. And I always, when I'm talking about the dedication episodes, I always feel like, you know, I need to do more highlighting type episodes when artists still here and give them the flowers so that we're not talking about people posthumously all the time. You know, I don't like it. I enjoy doing the episodes because I learn a lot about the artists and the music and their background and all that. But we have to do more of it where we're not doing it in sadness, you know. And I do that. I line up people and I say, well, all right, this man's still here. Let me do that. I actually have a few lineup for this Christmas too. But even if I had done that, I would have never reached Ricardo Drue. When I'm talking about dedication. You know, it's so easy in this world to assume that people go be here for a long time and young people supposed to get old and die. None of that is real. All that is in our mind. And I guess that's what makes things like this even more shocking. And when you reflect in times like these as well, you start to realize, I talk about dedication episode, like I go be here to do all this kind of dedication, you just don't know. You always feel you have time with somebody, time to make up, time to reconcile whatever differences you have, or just time to spend together and create and make memories and things. And the reality is that we don't. And this situation is a sad reminder of this. You know, in the midst of this, the vaccine people had to come and say, well, plenty more young people. All right, vaccine people, thanks for the update on that. You know, every time somebody young pass away, you're starting to hear the vaccine people. I appreciate you all updating us on that, right? Thanks for letting us know that the vaccine, plenty more to come, right? I appreciate that. But I mean, I want to just take this opportunity to point out a few things about Ricardo Drue. And he sent the whole Caribbean into mourning, Trinidad and Tobago, and particularly Antigua. But there's something that's coming through with his dedication, which I would not have known, how much he was loved behind the scenes by all the other soca artists, producers, DJs, everybody. And not just Trinidad. And I always remember DJ Khaled doing a video in, I want to say, Bahamas. And at the end of the video, he used a Ricardo Drue song as a representation of the background music for a little soca scene he had in the end, right, with people in costume and stuff. And I found it strange. Like, when you think of Khaled, I'm wondering, okay, so when Khaled draw for Jamaican artists, he is Buju, Beanie, Bounty Killer, you know, Sizzler, the top of the line veterans, right? And when I always used to look at it when he drew for Ricardo Drue, like, what would make him hold on to that particular song and that particular artist? And now, unfortunately, in his passing, I'm starting to see it because he's seeing that he's an artist. You know, the artists all love him. Everybody have positive things to say. I always watch that when people pass. You know, there's some people when they pass away are struggling to find ways, the good things to say about them, or what we should say at all. They had to fight to find things to put in the eulogy. But he's clearly not that type of person. A lot of people pointing out his upbeat nature. I mean, most of what you're seeing from artists is that they can't process it, they can't believe it. But a lot of it is coming out. What I saw was people like Irish and Chin or Jazzy T from Jamaica, you know, highlighting his passing and how much it affected them. It shows you how much of a bridge he was between Caribbean music, and Jazzy T, a producer. Jazzy T used to be part of Renaissance Sound System and a producer in Jamaica. Talking about just starting to work on a dancehall project with Patrice and Ricardo. You know, it's just one of them things, boys. You can't predict this. It's unbelievable. When I see it at first, I was like, what? And I think that's probably everybody's reaction. And I guess everybody also feeling the same way we feeling, where, you know, you feel for Patrice Roberts with this, with all the things they've been through and thing, and, you know, and then you're no longer here. Makes you wonder sometimes, like, what we fighting for? What not them particularly, but what is we fighting for when we making all this fuss and thing, and then tomorrow morning you close your eye? You know, it's surreal. But again, it's hard to be sad, to be honest, in a situation like this. Again, I wouldn't be as close to him as everybody else, so it's hard when you go through his catalog to have a sad episode about him. It's really somebody who celebrate life. Almost his entire catalog is celebratory in nature. So as I typically do, I want to run through a few of his songs. And dedication to Ricardo Drue. Who the hell would have thought? But I have a few of them that up there are some of my favorite Ricardo Drue. And his wake up time with them.
No matter the question, the answer, nation is always wrong. Boy, what's up? Show me where you're drinking. What's up?
He's a man to celebrate.
I'm a professional. It's true. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. Yeah, I'm a professional drinker.
That's right.
For real? A drinker don't get drunk.
Women.
Anytime I have alcohol, I just have a ball. And let me turn it up now. When rum gets in my anatomy, I just feel so alive. If drinking rum was a strategy, I don't strategize. And they say I could never control what I drink. That is all lie. Just look me in my eyes. I'm a professional. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. What's up? Show me where you're drinking. Show me where you're drinking. Drink where you're drinking. I'm a professional. Show me where you're drinking. Show me where you're drinking. Drink where you're drinking. I'm a professional. My V don't want me to drink anymore. She giving me stress. I told her that I would not drink no more. But I won't drink no less. When rum gets in my anatomy, I just feel so alive.
Yes.
For my behavior, pardon me, I apologize. Cause they say that I cannot behave when I drink. That is all lie. Just look me in my eyes. I'm a professional. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. All day we drinking and we don't need no chaser. Coming out with system, I'm a professional drinker. What's up? Show me where you're drinking. Show me where you're drinking.
Drink where you're drinking. I'm a professional. You know, that song is always remind me of the very early morning of Carnival Monday and Tuesday, when I was a man waiting for the other masqueraders that I play mass with every year, who shall remain unnamed. I always reach there early when the bar open. I want to be there because I am a professional drinker. Professional. I ain't playing no master reach at 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning and think 10 and 11 o'clock. I powder them kind of times. Powdered. I could barely see where I'm going. If the truck stopped moving, that could be the enemy for the rest of the day. And next, this had to be Ricardo Drue's biggest song. This would be the song from the DJ Khaled video, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel it's also a very apt description of me on a Carnival Monday and Tuesday. But one disclaimer is this, right? I am a 40-year-old hooligan, right? I ain't any wildness in me, but as a hooligan still, right?
The way that I'm jamming in the van, they calling me a hooligan.
A hooligan, a hooligan.
The way that I wine on every girl, they calling me a vagabond.
A vagabond, a vagabond. Boy, I don't even think a
rumor have it that at that time when I was playing mass, I used to whine at every girl, but these days I just follow that truck. I don't know what is the real purpose of me playing mass. Man is be vexed when they say, when you're playing mass for, you're playing mass, and in a section, and when they want to jam on man, I don't care. I think I just like the 2 days of mass to be free, chip down the road and enjoy myself and be properly powder and drunk. But again, we celebrating in the strangest of turns of life. We celebrating life for Ricardo Drue. And boy, listen, as a man who is celebratory, we can't afford too much of sadness. I understand, and I mean, I can't understand what somebody like Patrice Roberts would be going through, or his children, or his family, or anything like that. And we can't put ourselves in their position or claim to understand what they will be going through at a time like this. But as a man who lived by this kind of celebratory life, and even in the tributes that pouring in for him, you're hearing the type of person he was. Always upbeat, always has something to make people laugh, always trying to bring people together. I think if you're doing a dedication for a man like that, you have to do it in that way too, right? So no sadness wrong here. And I want to play for you. Where should I go here? They have a song he sing, right? That I ain't gonna go to my favorite yet. But this is one of the songs I'd like. That when I heard it the first time, I did not know Ricardo Drue sing that song. And I want to play for you Ricardo Drue version of the song, and then the original song, right? Take this in for me. Remember this rhythm?
I tell you man, I love Tun-Tun. You love Tun-Tun. He love
Tun-Tun.
all our we love Tun-Tun. Out on the road is Tun-Tun. Carnival days Tun-Tun. Can't get away from Tun-Tun. I'm jamming on it Tun-Tun. Well, I bounce up on the senior lady. Catch me eye from the time I see she. Right, she had my full attention. Getting on inside the jam. Hold on from the time she step in the room. And she start to shake the boom boom. I'm revving on it like a boom boom. And she say she name was Tun-Tun. Man, there was love at first sight. Yeah, feeling so nice. Could not get away. Tun-Tun had a title on me. Man, she wasn't too fat. No, and she wasn't too slack. No, Tun-Tun was just right. Man, there was love at first sight. I tell you man, I love Tun-Tun. You love Tun-Tun. He love Tun-Tun. All our we love Tun-Tun. Out on the road is Tun-Tun. Carnival day is Tun-Tun. Can't get away from Tun-Tun. I'm jamming on it. When I want Tun-Tun. When I want Tun-Tun. When I swing on Tun-Tun.
Yes.
When I want Tun-Tun. Cause I love Tun-Tun. You love Tun-Tun. He love Tun-Tun. All our we love Tun-Tun. Out on the road is Tun-Tun. Carnival days Tun-Tun. Can't get away from Tun-Tun. I'm jamming on it. Oh, yeah, lock him. I lock him. I lock him. I lock him. I lock him.
I never know it's Ricardo Drue sing that song is about 10 years old. Remember the rhythm? And listen, it's very, very tempting to play every single song on that rhythm when that rhythm starts up. But I didn't realize it was Ricardo Drue sing that. So much catalog. You know what I mean? Yeah, you say a few of them and a few of them is standout, but boy is a man with catalog. And I mean, sadly, you will hear a lot of that catalog over the next few days, and we could only hope that it continues. I mean, some of these songs is Fed Staples, and they ain't going nowhere. Like the first two I play is Fed Staples. My favorite is a Fed Staple. But before I move on to that, I want to play for you the original Tun-Tun.
Extravaganza from India, the world's greatest Indian singers, musicians and dancers also, but the comedian Tun-Tun steal the show. Now I like Tun-Tun, you like Tun-Tun, I love Tun-Tun. Who ever like Tun-Tun? When they announce the show on muchachos always insist me. All my Indian friends meet me and say, boy, you must see Poon Poon and Manade. Now they like Tun Tun, I like Tun Tun, they love Tun Tun. Who ain't gonna like Tun Tun?
Who ain't gonna like Tun Tun? I just want to play the original for you, right? This is a Ricardo Drue dedication. So power, take it easy. Rest in power. So listen, I want to go to my favorite, right? One of my favorites, again, another fete classic. And I was saying down for carnival a little bit, right? So by now I would be probably featuring more new music and playing, you know, some songs that songing like I want to spend money on a carnival costume or fete ticket. And I was really planning to take it easy this Christmas, but much to my carnival. I don't say I ain't playing mass already, and I wasn't too fetting, but imagine I get some calls this week to pay for soca tickets and Rise and Roast tickets, and people want Sun Nation tickets. I say, well, boy, I'm in trouble. And I feel I'm in a little bit of more trouble than I was in before. Now that I went through all these Ricardo Drue songs in preparation for this episode, I feel the fete ticket budget could be taking a hit, and this song is one of the reasons why.
We betting more than you. We drinking more than you. We betting more than you. Mr. Roof. We betting more than you.
Bobby, hook me up.
We betting more than you. It's true. I'll forfeit to go this evening. Yes. But only 2 tickets to my name. Yes. By the end of the night, I sure to get in. And I right in front of the stage. Now that I get in, yeah, that's the way I leave it.
so much all-inclusive, so much cooler fete, so much breakfast party, so much a boat ride. You know, he was with All Stars band at a point in time. I see A-Team pouring out there, like all the bands, all the DJs. Like I said, I didn't even know he do that Travis World job. Okay, I could do it. It's Travis World. I should really play the original. No, that was a horrible version of that. Let me just find Travis World Instagram.
Travis World.
So we listening to that all the time, and you just don't know. I guess as outsiders in the industry, you don't know what is happening, or you don't know the ins and outs of the industry, but the tributes that point out to him. And I mean, to be honest, just the general confusion that a lot of artists showing tells you a lot about who he is. And I mean, beyond everything else, everybody, you're feeling that for Patrice. You know, it's like, what is that? I remember in our fete in I think it was Drue's Day in Antigua, when he proposed on stage while they were performing. And you know what I mean? She said yes, and he said she's officially an Antigua now. And in preparation for that, for the marriage, if I'm not mistaken, Patrice Roberts would have been on Slam the Morning promoting her new song, and they're saying that this news might have came through while she was doing a promo run for the song. She could have been on radio when she get the messages or the calls that was going on. And even on that interview, I saw her on an interview with Janine. She was talking about Drue and getting married and all the different plans they have and relationships, having ups and downs and things. And boy, look at that. It's just an abrupt ending. It's something. These things incomprehensible, if there's a word, right? It's impossible to imagine it. Even though I say, like, make the best of things. I talking to myself mostly, right? Like, make the best of things. Don't fall out and nobody live loving and all that. But you're still doing that, not thinking that anything like this could come about. So again, rest in peace to Ricardo Drue. It's unbelievable to be saying something like that. And condolences to his family. But before we move on to his music, I couldn't come out of it without playing this, right?
Baby, I love you. It's true. I love you. Yeah, I love you. They say we toxic. Full of toxic love. Cause when I say we done, you say we done, then we back together. If that makes us toxic, we don't give up. Cause baby, at least we know it's real. Everybody has a type, and everybody has a choice. And baby, I choose you. Cause you're crazy, match my crazy. You're my Beyonce, and I'm your Jay-Z. Even when I'm so mad at you. 1 minute I can't stand you, next minute that is bad. I block you just to unblock you, and ask you how was your day like normal. And don't even talk about between the sheets. So sweet, I can't leave. Maybe that is why they say we toxic. Full of toxic love. Cause when I say we done, you say we done, then we back together. If that makes us toxic, we don't give up. Cause baby, at least we know it's real. My biggest investment wasn't stocks and apartments. No, baby, it was you. All of the pain and the fights and the stress and the sex mix up together. Be with no other. Even when I don't like you. 1 minute is I love you, next minute is felt pain. I tell my friends I don't want you, then they see us together again like normal. And don't even talk about between the sheets. So sweet, I can't leave. Maybe that is why they say we toxic. Full of toxic love. Cause when I say we done, you say we done, then we back together. If that makes us toxic, we don't give up. Cause baby, at least we know it's real. Baby, nobody can love me like you. Love me like you. Nobody can annoy me like you. Annoy me like you. Nobody can touch like you. Touch like you. Nobody knows me quite like you. Baby, I love you. Baby, I love you. Baby, I love you, man. Yeah, I love you, man. I love you, man. Baby, I think we deserve it if we believe that it's worth it. Because we're not perfect. Maybe that is why they say we toxic. Full of toxic love.
What you supposed to say that to a spouse and children at a time like this, boy? It had nothing you could say. There no words could help. Nothing can bring nobody back. And I guess I heard somebody say about grief and that kind of thing. A therapist say, grief don't ever go away. The pain don't ever get any better. They say use get stronger over time. So they say, it's only time could help with that. And when you're at a loss for words, it's funny how things has happened in life. If you was to see Patrice Roberts now, what do you say to her? But somehow, before this thing happened, she was promoting a song with words that she might be able to find comfort in and say to herself.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this soca is my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Strong up together, no place that I'd rather be. Strong up together, right now is our energy. Strong up together, soca is our battery. Strong up together, I tell you so much on my mind that I can't sleep. I'm stressing all the time, I can't self-keep. Cause I'm always on the grind, my body not keep up. Deep back and all of my mind all week. Take your troubles and throw them all away. Get ready to run across the stage. Get ready.
Listen, when you hear that song, name of the song is Anxiety, right? Or when you take a minute and go to wherever it is for listen to music, Apple or Spotify or your bootleg thing, and look at the artwork for the music that Patrice have on this song and tell me if it's prophetic. But again, rest in peace to Ricardo Drue, condolences to his family and to all his loved ones and to everybody in the industry who feeling this. And with a song like this, that's so, I don't know if to call it prophetic, it's revealing. I'm not sure what it is. And it's showing where artist inspiration, I was looking at, in preparation for the episodes last week or so, I was looking at Shorty on Calypso Showcase with Alvin Daniel. And Alvin Daniel was asking when he come up with his song. And Shorty laughed and he said, well, boy, I was always laugh when people say, I make a song. And he say, I don't make no song. The inspiration for the song, I just have vessel. The song has come through me. And songs like these that Patrice Roberts puts out for 2024 Carnival, kind of showing you that something had to be coming through you. You can't see what coming ahead of you. But to sing a song like this, I wonder selfishly, one of my thoughts was, oh no, what happened to Patrice this Carnival? Will she perform? Like, how you get through things like this? Like, when you're going through things like, how you go back to work? Especially when you and your husband are working together, only performing together all over the place. What is that next walking on a stage like for her? Especially when this is a song you have to sing that's so relevant or so real and raw, given the experience she must be having now, which is unimaginable to me. It's a scary thought. And I hope that, I'm sure that she have enough people around her and handlers and everybody to know that as fans, as the industry, as everybody go wait. Everybody just want to make sure she good as a person. Forget the artist and the music and all that. We just want to make sure she good as a person. And that at some point she could come back to us. And listen, it's going to be a huge thing when Patrice come back on that stage for the first time. I would imagine it will be emotional for her. And I think it will be emotional for all the fans and stuff. Because when you're listening to this Anxiety song, and his homeworld Carnival bring it, I could imagine how many ways this song could be remade to reflect this situation. Remember that Patrice is a singer too, right? So again, Who would have thought that we would be coming here to talk anything about Ricardo Drue, except to play some songs and get some kicks? But you just, life short. That is all I'm saying, right? I'm just leaving it at that. Life is short. Do what you will with that information. Life short, you know. So before I move on to that, as we're done talking about rest in peace and condolences and so on, just a minute as well to say rest in peace to Marlene Mc Donald, who again, now Marlene Mc Donald is not Ricardo Drue, she no young girl and them kind of things. So, but I was surprised when I hear Marlene Mc Donald pass away. A good bad talk Marlene Mc Donald too, you know. A good bad talk Marlene Mc Donald, I'm being honest. When I was living in St. James, Marlene Mc Donald is our MP. I still vote in St. James. You're not supposed to say that. I still vote in St. James. And Marlene Mc Donald is the MP for Port of Spain South before Keith Scotland. And I used to talk about, you don't see Marlene at all, and she's only come wrong when it's time to vote and things. So my aunt and them used to be vexed when I talk about Marlene. But Marlene wasn't earlier wrong. You never used to see Marlene. But the truth is also that you never see Keith Scotland either. Same like, right? But I don't know. I was hearing that she was sick and them kind of things. But I guess these things is always take you by surprise. So I saw them publish it last week. So I just wanted to take a moment for all the PNMites, particularly who's listened to this podcast, and say rest in peace to Marlene Mc Donald. And I'll leave it only with this one for anybody who lose somebody, right?
Every year somebody dear give us cause to shed a tear and mourn, for they are gone. Now all that's left is a faint memory based on the theme of a strange melody. Still, we must think of them and recall their image with pride, telling people from deep inside, this is dedicated to those who died. But in it, I'll always remember jumping when a big band passed, playing mass, sugary, peppery, he was never ever one for glass. But from Innis, wherever you are, compare just for you. Are we gonna give them real thunder this year? Everyone I know, some good day will have to go right back from where they came. But good or bad, we must try all the same, not to be too sad or heap scorn on their name. And every girl and boy who are sharing my sympathy, I must tell you this song is just dedicated to memories. George Bailey, I'll always remember jumping when a big band passed, playing big mass, sugary, peppery, he was never ever one for class. George Bailey, wherever you are, brother, just for you, and we gon' give them real thunder this year. How many have known a friend playing mass down to the end, who will never again. And though we play, now and then thoughts will stray to that dear one who has since passed away. So for this carnival, while you're jumping up, take a break. Try and take in this song I made to remember for old time's sake. Rudolph Charles, I'll always remember jumping when the steel band passed, playing mass. Sugary, peppery, he was never ever one for class. Yeah, Rudy, wherever you are, compare just for you. Are we gonna get them real thunder this year?
In other news, moving further afield, I see the same Machel in performing for Carnival at all, right? Carnival without Machel this year, no. Let me read the article first, right? Machel come out and say he doing an MBA. Well, Machel says he's out of Carnival 2024 as he's focused on his MBA. King of Soca Machel Montano will not play an active role in Carnival 2024. Machel, who has 10 Road March and 7 Soca Monarch titles, called on his fans to honor and respect his decision because he's back in school. This is my second year. I'm writing my thesis. This is my final year. The work is very heavy. He said, pointing to intense studies in the history of Calypso, the steel band and mass, along with academic writing, history, and social sciences via the Newsday newspaper. As he received the keys to the city of San Fernando. Congrats on that. Keys to the city of Sando for Machel Montano. It shouldn't have a place. Machel didn't have a key to in this country, right? As he received his key to the city of San Fernando at Skinner Park on Sunday night from Mayor Robert Parris, Montano told his audience that he made the announcement last year, but I don't think it registered. Wait now, since last year, tell me this and nobody ain't taking you on. Montano, who said he's on the brink of 50 and has been singing for the past 42 years, he's doing his MBA in Carnival Studies at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. I am doing all this because I want to set a foundation for the next level of Machel Montanos who are coming. Okay. If you don't know where you're coming from, you can't know where you're going. Quoting the African proverb about walking along if you want to go fast, about walking alone if you want to go fast, but together if you want to go far. He appealed to his fans for their understanding. That wasn't my fault this time, right? They put along instead of alone, right? So they say if you want to go fast, walk alone, but if you want to go together, but if you want to go far, walk together. Something like that, right? It's all about right. But listen, the debate about this was funny to see online because I could tell you about a couple carnivals where Machel wasn't involved in the carnival. Now, I don't know if people will remember late. It had to be kind of around 99, 2000, them kind of years, around there. Machel had signed a record deal. Is it with Epic or RCA or one of these international recording companies? And rumor had it that when he signed the deal with them, he couldn't perform with any local feds. And he went to do an album for them. I think it would be 1 or 2 albums. It didn't go well, but they had about two carnivals, 2 and a portion where it had no Machel. And I'll tell you this, right? The carnival wasn't the same, and that was Machel back then. That was late 90s, early 2000s Machel. It's not like you ain't enjoying yourself in the fets and thing, but the Machel was a kind of crescendo in the fets, especially them days like 1920 Machel I used to lock them time. And the height that the fet would typically go to when Machel come on, it wasn't reaching that height at all. I don't know if that would have been the same experience for people who would have been older than me at that point in time. But certainly for youths, it was like you're going UE fet and all the fets that was, I guess, geared or targeted to the youths. And it wasn't exactly the same. It used to be a little bit flat. I ain't knocking all the rest of performers and the bands. Them days were still big bands performing, right? Brass band. But boy, that carnival without Machel was a little sad. And I always remember being in PSA a year. I want to say is Brass Festival, right? Me and Pablo. I think it was Brass. and we in PSA, on PSA grounds and Long Circular Road. And in the midst of one of the bands performing, they say they have a special guest to call her. And that special guest was Machel. Now, I'll tell you a funny thing about Pablo before I go into this song, right? We was somewhere around the middle of the fete. And brass them days, tickets by that stage is mayhem. But I want to be up in front. I don't like to be down in the back and in the middle of it. But them days, Pablo done starting to get a little older, so he ain't able to sit a crowd and sing in front. So the debate is whether we should go up in front or we could breeze here. So we decided we breezing down in the back. But I enjoying myself fully. I want to be in the mix. I want when the artists sweat, I get wet. So I done telling Pablo, let you go up in front. I see the thing and the man calling on a special guest. I want to say is Eddie Charles who called him on it, but I can't remember which band it was. That could be Traffic with Eddie Charles at the time. But and them days Machel only performing in Ecstatic, so it had no Ecstatic that year. Or did they? No, they didn't have any replacement for Machel, if I'm not mistaken. Ecstatic just wasn't in effect. So Traffic or one of them called on Machel, which is something we wouldn't have seen in a long time. Him performing in another band. And he come on, he had pulled down, like you can't even see his face and thing good, but you can't miss the voice. And you could tell, like, as much as we miss him, he miss us. And he run on stage and perform. So I tell Pablo, I say, boy, let me go in front. So Pablo come and we up in front. And because everybody else had that same idea, boy, it had a point where you couldn't breathe. Your foot ain't even touching the ground. First people say, I remember Pablo cover his face. Them days had no mask and thing. Pablo cover his face and it was like back in the back. We couldn't say, it was so thick. And people react so much that they almost crush your body against the front. Everybody who was in front just get crushed up against the stage. This was the song he had performed that year. Remember this?
Look, see. Yeah, like the same one. And the same one from the morning. Follow me all around the world. Yo, stalk a girl. Hey, how she moving? Elevate. She riding up. She riding up. She riding escalate. She riding down. She riding down. Hey, yo, she riding up. She riding up. She riding escalate. She riding down. The girl know where me live. Follow me like detective. Just the other day in the mall, as soon as she see Machel, she riding up, she riding down, she riding low, following me around. She riding fast, she riding slow, she riding for me anywhere that we go. The best she know, she riding up, she riding up, she riding.
Yes. God, big song and Machel come and perform that for 2 minutes and run off the stage. That was it for the Machel performance. And then fast forward to somewhere wrong, I believe it would have been the year they sang Palance, 2010. Machel had stepped away from the carnival too. And somewhere in between there, because that's when he come and sing Stalker, he wasn't back in the carnival yet, He was around, he must do a few performances and that was it. Then we started slowly but surely see him in a little rap skirt and turban and thing back in, and he then eventually come fully back into the carnival. I remember him taking a break somewhere around 2009 where I guess the music wasn't hitting and thing, and he had announced that he taking a break from carnival, and they say that is how Blaze and them get through with Palance, right? Apparently Palance had no chance. I mean, Palance really was a big song, but it had no Machel. And to be fair, the year with Palance, I'm not sure that they had much big contenders for road match, but salute to JW and Blaze for pulling through on that. But he missed out that year, and again, it was another year where it's good, but it ain't so great without Machel. And I've seen other years too, where there was one particular year where Machel put out a list and he only performing in 5 fete. That was the beginning of a change for Machel as well, because before then, he booked every weekend. Everywhere you go, you could see Machel, or at least one fete per weekend, you could see him. But there was a year where he just put 5 or 6 events, and them events sell out real fast because no Machel, what you're going to do? Now, I'm not sure what impact this will have because as Machel say here, he's turning 50. And even in that 2010, just to go back to that 2010, if people remember, he do that same surprise thing. He had come on with Beyonce. I think Beyonce had performed, because that show in Savannah, and he came on and performed with Beyonce. Destra was pregnant that year too, and Destra came on and performed in that show. But you didn't see Machel for the whole rest of the carnival. So there's a couple things happening here for this year when he stayed home and study. Because just like how he missing we just like how we missing him, he likely to make some kind of appearance for the carnival, right? If you're using history as any kind of judge, you go see him somewhere. But your timing is the only thing that could help you with that, because who knows which fete he will show up in last. He showed up in St. Mary's fete last time and he said he wasn't, because last year he said he was only performing in his fete, which was a disaster. But he showed up in St. Mary's. So he's a man go fall in somewhere. What is the likelihood that you will have a ticket and you will be present at the 1 or 2 fetes that Machel show up for this year? Because at the end of the day, them studies and thing, Machel, nobody is studying you and them studies thinking that you're going to need a break and the break will come somewhere around Carnival. You must come out your house and show your face somewhere. We know that is a given. So it's really, should we be buying? I hear some more guy wanting to tell me St. Mary's ticket fete tickets sell out at $1,500 a ticket. $250 US. Somebody was telling me about Sun Nation tickets. Can't get that. Bayview or Bay, whoever, anything starting that Bay, can't get. We in mid-December, and it's a wrap for all them tickets already. So it's looking like it's rough times this carnival. And St. Mary's smart just to make sure the tickets and them sell out before people hear Machel and performing for the season. So I am assuming that every fete that Machel with a headline typically and pull crowd, it's going to be Voice. Voice is the head man in command and the biggest draw for Carnival now in terms of pulling tickets. I'm assuming that also means that Carnival Friday night is free and Carnival Monday night is free. There's no more Machel Monday, certainly not this year. And no more one Friday or whatever the hell he called that thing last year that they say had all kind of issues with it. I kind of glad, to be honest. I think it's a good time to bring an end to the era of all them Machel Monday and them wanting. Do that outside of Carnival, where you could bring every African who ever sing Afrobeats and every Jamaican who ever sing dancehall and every hip-hop who sing Mona Lisa. What is Dougie Fresh and them sing? And me, I want to hear no man spitting up the place for Carnival. I sorry. I don't mind. I like to see the international artists and thing, but I don't want to hear. I just want a fete. I come to have a good time. I do not have a good time when Shaka Demas and Murder She Wrote. I like the song, but Carnival, let me just enjoy my little Carnival now. Let me go and fete and lose myself for an hour or two. I cannot handle that. Good time to bring that to the end of our era. And let me go back to show where it's full show now. And I'm saying that to Kes on Voice too, because Kes good like a little alternative man. And let me just have a soca fete now. I ain't coming no Kes Tuesday night unless it's a full soca fete. Them concert type performances, I find them thing good for Ash Wednesday, Holy Thursday, Independence Day, Corpus Christi. Or you could do them things them times. I don't really like them things in the midst of Carnival, but to each his own. So I wonder if, like, what to do here, because I'm in a Russian roulette situation here. Done trying to see if I could fit my way into soca by 2 and Rise and Rose. But hey, if I could fit my way in there, I'm not sure where else to go to see if I could get a little slice of Machel. And this year I want to take in Voice good, man, and you can't bring back your youth, right? So the way I would have felt in a fete when I see Machel at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, I can't feel so when I see Voice, but I like what Voice and the crew do, and I talk about that many times, and it'll be good to see them in their heyday at Carnival Friday show, where they always bring plenty different artists and things, and they pull in the youths. So I guess Voice is the man for this carnival. I don't think Voice is the man for every carnival, let's be fair. I mean, Machel is still who he is, but Voice is the dominant force in carnival for a little while now. So, but I just want to congratulate Machel as well on doing his Masters. And I want to read something here from you, right? I saw this as a comment. I believe it was, and I'm so smart. I screenshot the response and I never screenshot the damn person who posted it. I know I'd seen a post from a guy, Maurice Burke. Salute to Maurice, was talking about like why Machel mustn't do his MBA kind of thing, or Masters, why he wouldn't take time to do it. And it's amazing sometimes how we feel we own entertainers and stars and that kind of thing, right? So our greatest sporting personalities or our favorite artists, and like we feel we have some ownership over them and their time and what they must do and thing. If this is what the man feel for the future of the country, or for the future of the genre, or even for his own edification, for his own self-actualization and things that he always wanted to do. That's something I want to do too. I want to at some point in my life do a PhD, do it for myself, right? And I know how hard it is to write that thesis. I would not, when I do my MBA, I had to move to Jamaica before I finished my thesis. And it's when I realized I have to move, I called my thesis advisor and say, "Here, what's going on, brother? I have about 3 months before I had to move to Jamaica. And if I don't do this now, I will never finish. So I will just work with me for 3 months. When I send you things, send me back. And let me stay in contact, close and get it done." And thank goodness for him. He work with me and help me. And he tell me, "All right, you're looking in a position where you could pass." And I always tell people, like, what I wrote for my thesis is almost exactly the business we doing now. Almost not deliberately. Like, I never went back to the thesis and tried to apply it to what we doing now. But it show you how sometimes you work through these things and it could shape. Because I do my thesis in 2006, 2007. So we heading towards 20 years ago, and I still benefiting from the work I do then. And it is hard. That's hard, right? So let me explain something to people, right? I didn't plan to talk about this, right? So sorry, but you see that? That hard. I don't want nobody to feel like if Machel just saying that and he's Machel and he all the time in the world and he all the money. Money can't help you, right? Doing that, it's difficult, right? Salute. I always talk about my aunt, Auntie Terry. She now finished her PhD. That's hard. That's not no easy thing to do. When you have to write a paper, for one part of the paper, you have to look up about 25 articles, and about 24 of them they matter. It's only 1 or 2 years and it's very hard to explain to somebody who never went through this process. How much years be looking through book and crying because you're just tired and you're fed up see that material and you're fed up reading about that and you're fed up. Listen, that hard, right? I don't know how to express it again. One Machel going through to write his thesis. I see somebody put, but he don't know everything about carnival already. Wait, listen, he does not. He does not. I always remember telling people about when I first do A levels, right? I do everything twice, right? Including recording this episode. When I first do A levels, I had guessed, I think a A and a B, and I applied to UWI and I get accepted to do carnival arts. And canny how much my life become about carnival arts now, right? But I'd get accepted to do that and I didn't want to do that. So I reset CXC until I get some better grades and I'll get accepted to do government. But at the time when I get pulled in to do carnival arts, UWI was the only university. It had no UTT when I went to school. But now the program that Machel doing is carnival arts. And to tell you the truth, I'm inspired. I feel like when I read this week, I'm inspired. I feel like this is a calling for me to go and get involved in this program. So who knows? I might well follow any. I go at least ask some questions. Now, I saying this very cognizant of the fact that I had to be careful how I go and try to do this, right? Because I work for my job. I work for schools to lecture. I have podcasts to do, I have people podcasts to do, I have a family, I have a life, I have hobbies and them things, right? And one of the things, I inspired by this and I feel like maybe I was called to do carnival arts and I missed that calling and now there's an opportunity to go and do it. I might be able to do it in UCT. And I used to say that about music too. Maybe I could do music and carnival arts, but you know why I hesitated? Because it's hard. There's plenty in life you're sacrificing to do them things, and now it's back to deadlines and putting in work and things. And I feel I know a little bit about carnival and calypso, particularly through this podcast, but I could tell you that is not it. The little bit of knowledge I have not going to get me through a degree. I always remember in year 1 in UWI, I was always good at econ, right? So we also do an introductory econ course, which I think our introductory econ course now is soca, right? And I remember helping other people with the econ concepts and working through it with friends now, just helping them understanding while them studying. And I study in the next 4 subjects because I say I don't need to study econ. I know that already. Well, boy, when I go on an econ exam and I see the paper, me even know what they're asking. I can't even understand the question, much less the answer. Fail spectacularly. I had to do over that. So no matter how much you feel you know about a subject, when you go into a program, it have no escape in the amount of work you have to put in. And that is for the courses and to do the exam. Which if it's a master's, he done passed that level already. He reached the point of the thesis. And I could tell you, by the time you reach the thesis, you fed up. You done do 20 different exams in 20 different courses. And it's about 6 of them courses you didn't care about at all. You didn't want to know nothing in them courses, and you have to do it. And then you got to come and write a thesis now. So salute to Machel. I'm glad you take the time. I want to read some of the comments, right? Somebody says this. Oh, no, this is wrong. Wait, no, I screenshot the wrong thing to I screenshot thing about Hasely Crawford. Forget I say all that, right? I was watching online and I was seeing people complaining about Machel doing his degree and the time he taken away from it. Let me go to Maurice's poster because I was going somewhere with this thing, but clearly I screenshotted and marking the wrong people. Well, beard, man, I'm not a young man, right? I'm blaming all this on old age, right? When you're getting old, all kinds of things happen to you. Maurice said, I hear people discussing Machel's statement that he isn't going to be singing for Carnival 2024 because he's doing an MBA, and they're saying others can do both. I ain't no Carnival person, so it can go either way for me. My main thought is that I'm proud of him writing his thesis for himself because plenty of people out here paying for somebody to write their graduate studies assignment. Only when I hear some stories about people who offer them to pay me to write a thing for them, we can talk about that now. Don't hate me. I lived, 8 and breathed mine until it was done writing. So I know how much work it can be. Maurice went through this, right? And if I'm not mistaken, more than once too. And listen, the first name I see in liking this is a fella named Paul Leacock, who is a fella I respect a lot for going through this too. Every time I see Leacock, he's studying something. And it's like people vex, like you could do both. I work and do my MBA too. Listen, if you work and do your MBA, salute to you. Salute to you. But I think people underestimating what it takes to write a thesis, and people might also be underestimating what it takes to prepare for a carnival season. You understand? I would think that somebody like Machel, who has a self-proclaimed pinnacle, right? He's a man at the top of the game. His process is going to be a little more difficult than me coming to sit down here for 2 hours and write a song to make joke about this one and that one. I would think it's a little different, right? I think he had to immerse himself fully in his topics that he wants to sing about. He had to listen to about 2,000 different rhythms to decide which one he wants to go on, what producer he wants to work with. He had to work out all kind of different deals to do concert and cruise to go Cancun and all them things. If this man want to take a minute to do something that he feel advancing himself, I always wonder, like, where are people finding, how much we feel we own these people, how selfish it could be to say, hey, this man shouldn't have been doing that. But I know where it's coming from, you know. So salute to Maurice. Maurice, the part of it you're missing is the people who complaining about this done buy fed tickets and plane tickets and costume already. The people who complaining about this done spend their $1,500 on St. Mary's thinking that he could be there and he not there. But salute to Machel and congratulations to him, man. Who knows, I'm considering it. You might hear more about it. From that time, I did start a program, and I can tell you it's hard again. I started a program in data analytics just before COVID at Penn State. No program yet. I can't finish. You know what I mean? I think I'm done, to be honest with you. I say I can't finish, but I think I finished where that is concerned. But again, salute to Machel. No Machel for the next year. Enjoy the carnival. I wondering to like Patrice, another heavy hitter, top of the line aces. You know what I mean? Like, what would carnival be like for her if she will perform at all? But the carnival, we shall have a good time and enjoy all of it, right? I was talking in Pinnacle, right? I did a few episodes last week and week before about Raj Shorty and Lord Shorty, right? And one of the songs, surprisingly, that people latch on to is a song by the name of Latrine Singers, right? where he basically called some name and said they're mashing up the art form, right? They ain't singing nothing good and all them kind of thing, which you tend to find that as people, you know, in your young days, you sing, and he was admitting this in the Alvin Daniel episode as well. But look for that, right? Raj Shorty Calypso Showcase, right? He was admitting that he used music for all kind of thing and just to make money and them things, and he wasn't using it for the benefit or the upliftment of the creator and his listeners and them kind of thing. But he basically said Preacher and Ajala and them fellas singing Latin music, you know what I mean? And surprisingly, there's a song that people like in the episode. But I want to play something here for you, right? Because just like Shorty when he was young, or when he was still Lord Shorty, yeah, he had to sing thing that people like, right? And he had to sing that young people like. And when you get older, you just can't understand what it is young people like, because you're old. And when you say you're old like the hills, you must always remember you're old like the hills, because I have a song going around here by Nyla Blackman, right? The granddaughter, is it granddaughter or great granddaughter? Granddaughter, Lord Shorty, Raj Shorty, Garfield Blackman, right? As people talk about the latrine song and thing, I hear this and I started to understand Not that I like it or dislike it. I start to understand that I'm very old because I like Nyla a lot. I think Nyla is one of the greatest artists. Nearly everything she touches is golden to me, right? But Nyla have a song here. I want to take in a piece of this song in the context of what Shorty say about Iwer and Preacher and Ajala and them, right? Just taking what it is making its wrongs on TikTok and Instagram. Listen to what youth's listening to now. If you don't know it, now you know it, right? If you don't know it, now you know it. Just side to side. When you reach, you reach. You just have to understand that when the youths enjoy side to side in the middle, wrong and rosy, up like posy, just make it jiggle, right? If that's what lyrics come to. You know, Shorty must go add Nyla to the thing now, you know. Shorty don't add nobody else, right? Just let you rest in peace and let people live in peace, right? You go and add nobody. But I want to play for you the response of the great Neil Iwer George to that song, right? So they see that latrine music where you see all of them singing dotishness. Iwer wasn't taking that. Iwer is a man don't take kindly to people telling him he's singing dotishness, you know. And you see, I hope all you're seeing how his initial performances are that happy people going, because it's a national anthem he's singing. He ain't bringing the God Bless Your Nation part. He's singing national anthem and some youths broken out in a little backyard jam. Wait and see what's going to happen with that song. But I want to play for you a little slice of a song by the name of Think It Over, which was in response to Shorty's latrine singers.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if I do a Shorty, tell him I what George say. Think it over, think it again. I sit down home listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to him. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up Ajala, is when I hear he start calling Iwer George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say, Iwer, you singing tata. Last year he come back with the same tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it, the people does whine. If Shorty never used to treat young Kai Sonia so crude, a way that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty, I think it over, think it again, Rastafari, think it over, think it again. Cause everybody know I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again, think it over, think it again. You're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the Iwer, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money. Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive a good car, not no jalopy. You can't come in town looking hungry. You have to remember you is a role model, and anywhere you go people will look up to you. That kind of lyric Shorty I them want me to sing, like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over,
Think it again.
hey Selassie. Think it over, think it again. Cause everybody That is how others get walk in Miami. Think it over. Think it again.
I won't care how much word he put in a line.
Think it again. Bling, 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 bling. I hear my telephone ring. When I say hello, it's Pelham Goddard calling. He say, Iwer, I'm looking for a shorty. Last year he record, he has some money for me. I hear a beep and I say, hello, it's Kenny. Songing like if he have a pain in his belly. He and all want a number for the ras. Cause he fine, he playing up in the ras. All them song this man sing to bad talk me. He never pay the studio them money. I don't know why he don't trim that hair on his head and brush his teeth and pee and go in his bed. Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Mr. Shorty, think it again. Think it over. Think it again. Cause everybody know I could sing I saw the party side of me. That is how I just pay off my studio fee. Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again. I know all the Calypsonians listening, and everybody just shoo-shooing. They listening to see if I put their name in my song, because it's about the Calypsonians who fight me down. It's how I'm walking in the cultural ministry. Every song he sing is the same melody. He get the doctorate quite up in Michigan, trying to say I giving Kai so bad injection. But when I hear he say much and strip Kai so hard, I went and even just tear Kai so up. Look, Chuck, just let me tell you something, and it ain't no this. You need to see a musical psychiatrist. Think it over. Think it again. Mr. Chuck, just think it over. Think it again. Time to get conscious. Think it over. Think it again. Cause everybody know I could sing I saw the party side of me. That is how I just get walk in New York City. Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again.
Hail till I see I think it over. Hey, that's more.
The March Grass Show, them back in Bread I'm having, I back in Crow. When I hear Tiger is that this in the Point Boy's name, I say like this big fat woman ain't had no shame. I could remember the last time she make money. She and she sisters was riding a donkey. So don't try to make people feel Iwer is a fraud when you worship me music like if it's your God. I know things hard and you want to eat. Everybody want to look nice in the street. But Tiger is if you want to make a comeback, don't try to take no ride on Iwer just back. Think it over. Again.
Think it. Iwer Jones say Tigeress if you want to make a comeback. Talking about think it over. Hasely is hurt. I don't like this. I don't like it. Hasely Crawford is hurt. 1976 Olympic champion fed up with Crawford Stadium snubs. So this is from The Express, written by Kwame Lawrence. Hasely Crawford is very upset over a series of snubs at the facility named in his honor. In an interview, why didn't you just say Hasely Crawford Stadium? A facility named in his honor. In an interview with The Express, the 1976 Olympic Games men's 100-meter champion explained that there are 6 seats assigned to him at the Hasely Crawford Stadium for any event at the venue, as well as 6 parking passes. Who idea was this? Why the hell he needs 6 seats and 6 parking passes? So it has 6 separate. Anyway, 6 seats and 6 parking passes, right? Additionally, 2 permanent parking spots have been set aside. So 6 ticket and 8 parking spots in total. Okay. Unfortunately, these entitlements have led to numerous embarrassing incidents. Back in 2001, Trinidad and Tobago hosted the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. They wouldn't, this quoted as saying, they wouldn't give me a ticket for the final, Crawford lamented. There were instructions, don't give Hasely Crawford any ticket, but I got it. TNT's first ever Olympic champion said he also had major issues in August this year at the Commonwealth Youth Games. You know, I find maybe we should go a step further with this, right? Before I continue reading. Hasely Crawford should never have problems getting in the Commonwealth Youth Games, no matter which part it is. Like, as an Olympic gold medalist, you don't get like a free pass. What does this come with? Just the medal? You don't get like a pass to any kind of running anywhere. Anyway, the opening of Commonwealth was bad. For 2 days, I had problems getting in until Ephraim Surratt brought me an accreditation. On the day of the opening ceremony, a minister was parked in one of my spots. He did move eventually, but he stayed for a while. In another recent incident, Crawford was alarmed by the disrespectful response he got from a group of students at the secondary school's football league opening when he spoke to them about standing in the aisles. Hasely, we're doing now security in the stadium. There's a lot. They don't have firemen for that. He said he alerted a police officer. Next time, do that. Open with that next time, Hasely. He said he alerted a police officer and the SSFL president and also went to the students' school to report the incident. Oh, Hasely, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. People are standing in the aisle, so you gotta go and talk to them. You ain't take it, just they ain't let a police officer know so they could move them. You go into the school to report the incident. A lot, okay. Crawford explained too that he had been offered tickets to attend the SSFL games during the 2023 season. Quoted as saying here, one time this SSFL president gave me a ticket. I told him, you're not doing me no favors. I'm entitled to 6 tickets. Here's. I start off reading this real on Hasely side, but here's. Okay. Another time he gave me 2 tickets. I didn't take them. The promoters are the ones who are responsible for giving me 6 tickets for their events. The TTFA would give me tickets for their games, but I would often go get them on the day. And that would create problems for my guests. One day I had a guest coming. I spoke to the guard and told him my guest was coming in a brown car. They put someone else in the parking spot and told me the TTFA man said to put him there. Crawford's family has also faced embarrassment at the stadium. One year they had Soca Monarch. My wife and Kent Bernard's wife, both of them went. They told them, no, this is VVIP for the Prime Minister and I guess. But that's where I'm supposed to go. My wife can't take embarrassment, so she took off. My wife neither. In order to avoid the further indignities, Crawford has opted to stay away from the Port of Spain facility. I decided I'm not going anything in the stadium. Crawford said that while he sometimes feels he should go ask for his name to be removed from the stadium, he knows this is not the way to go. It's probably not the thing to say in this article either. I cannot do it because I cannot spit in the face of Trinidad and Tobago. They gave me that, or they gave me that. But I hate going through this embarrassment. I would say 100%. Crawford said he has brought his concerns to the attention of the authorities, but to no avail. The only Prime Minister I did not go to is this PM. I would go to Rowley, but I find he has too many things to do to see about that state. So the rest of them did not have nothing to do. He said he find Rowley too busy, but he find they resemble too much. He said Rowley too busy. But I'm sorry to hear this, I didn't like this. So this is what I had the screenshot for, right? I want to read for you one of the responses I saw somebody saying about this Hasely Crawford thing, which I find, sometimes you see people say something. So he say, the flip side, how about Mr. Crawford being a former athlete, come out and pay for his tickets for the football games instead of feeling entitled? Model a different kind of behavior for the young ones looking on. Get there, sign some autographs, pay away. Show them that even though you're supposed to get free tickets, that you can still be humble and pay away in support of the young footballers. There are 2, sometimes 3 sides to every situation. I'm seeing it from the side that it's an opportunity to motivate. We live in a society where everyone feels entitled to something. That's the real image that our teenagers see every day. We have the power to change that, and it takes one little act to do so. Hasely Crawford has the power to do that. Hasely Crawford, in this man's opinion, has the power to make these youths not feel entitled. It's impressive. He goes on to say, I'm not simplifying his contribution. However, I'm saying that he can do better. Free tickets to events, yes. Free tickets to every single event in the stadium, no. Wow. Wow. Some events are barely funded. Financial support is scarce. If every person in this country would see the importance of modeling the behavior and mindset they want to see, then we'll see progress as a nation. While I have some things in this article that I was a little concerned about, I mean, Hasely shouldn't be really doing amalgamated work in the stadium or the fire services work. I mean, there's a lot. But and Hasely also had to remember too that 1970 was a long time ago. These youths gonna forget you. Sorry to say, the youths, and it's our responsibility, right? That's why I here every week, because I feel we have a responsibility to remember to pass the baton so that everybody remember who is everybody. Because I myself is be a little surprised when I play like older versions of songs and a lot of people hearing it for the first time. They thought the new singer, but to be fair, that's quite normal when you're born and you hear a song for the first time. Like when I hear Wyclef Jean them say, Maria, Maria, you remind me of the West Side Story. Or when I hear Mantle Jordan say, this is how we do it. I thought that was the first version of that. You know what I mean? You're young, you're thinking like this bad. You didn't realize that them things come from older things. Or Oceans 11, 12, and 13, that are all Oceans movie. Django, I like to watch Django over and over. Django was a whole old movie. So apart of the thing is, these youths, it's not so much that it's disrespectful to Hasely. They might even know the name Hasely Crawford and who win the thing. And they might know the Hasely Crawford Stadium, which is named after the man who win the first gold medal for Trinidad and Tobago. But when they watch you, they ain't seeing the Hasely what they see in school, you know. They ain't seeing the one where they cut out. Remember when you used to cut out thing from the papers and stick in your book? They ain't seeing that, and them just seeing a old man. This old man telling me about come out the island thing. So you're going a little far, but I find this commenter going a little far too, because youths and entitlement is an issue, right? And the issue is really around youths feeling like the world owe them something or they're entitled to something, but we mustn't let this mash up the definition of the word entitled. If you're using my name for this stadium, and one of the benefits I get from that is six seats were reserved for me, right? And 6 parking spots were reserved for me, plus 2 permanent. But that is it. I am entitled to that. I don't understand. We're changing the meaning of the word entitled because we don't like it now. The man entitled to 6 seats, to me, right? That entitlement means if it had nothing going on in the stadium, I feel to go and sit down in my 6 seat, I sit down in my 6 seat. I lie down across them 6 seats when I feel, what we talking about? I don't understand what this man's saying, really. if the man entitled to 6 seats, then he should have claim to that. It should be in the lease. Like, for instance, when the stadium renting out thing for Machel Friday, Machel Montano and whoever chowling on or whoever promoting these things should be made aware. Same thing with FIFA, same thing with Carifta. Who else he say? School, secondary school. Everybody who rents in the stadium for events should know that. Let me explain something to you about this event. You see, row A, seats 1 to 6, that belong to Hasely. You might come there and see him naked because he seats on them, so don't interfere with them seats. And what you could sell, if the stadium have 25,000 seats, let them know you could sell 24,994. The rest of them not for sale. Them 6, like Hasely. And they say, come, let me show you something else here. See, parking for the event, make care of his fire truck, ambulance, your CEO, your lip fight promoter, the man himself who train the fete, make care of his Jules, Sheppy and them, Scotch, I don't care. You see these 6 park here? Don't park there. Don't put no ice, don't put no cooler, don't put nothing there. Them 6 there, that Hasely. If he come and he park lengthways on all 6, if he come and he park a limousine lengthways on, you can't move it. That is he own. Because I don't understand. If he entitled to that, why not make that enshrined in everything that, or every agreement that you're making with everybody? Let me make this thing simple. It is an insult and it is embarrassing if this stadium named after you and you can't get in. What is we really talking about here? I don't understand why. I don't like to stand up outside fete. Like when I go and buy a ticket from Scalper, the first Scalper I see gonna rob me for sure. Because I don't like to walk all the way up to the fete by the front gate now and I stand up there long. I waiting for ticket. Or, you're waiting for somebody to come outside. You buy the ticket now, them in the fete, I have to message them and get, we outside. I don't like that because it cuts into valuable fete time. Not so much the embarrassment part, because I understand why Hasely never say he can't take the embarrassment. He say wife, which is true. I can't put my wife through that. Me and mine who see me standing up outside. Why mine is that I'm missing out on good fete time. I stand up outside breakfast. Not breakfast is different for a little while there last year. My fault, but I end up outside for a little while. And I watching the pork line from outside. I watching the pork line. I say, oh God, let me get in here fast. Let me get some pork up in I don't want nothing finished. I like Ola Tunji coming on. I still outside. Nobody don't want that. But it's so insulting when the venue named after the man for a feat that nobody before him was able to do. You know what I mean? Hasely Crawford is one of the most celebrated people in the country. Granted, because of the era we in now versus the era when he win. His face card would not work as well as it would work in his 70s, right? But I want you to picture this, right? Because there will come a time where you have youths who know the name Brian Lara and they know the stadium name Brian Lara, but they only know it from social studies. Them don't know what he looked like with your old self. And he commented to imagine Brian Lara can't get into Brian Lara Stadium. And he outside now, he had to wait on this one to come and for that one to come and pick him up, and he had to wait. See if you could call Rowley for a minute. Tell Rowley, I'm Brian, and the stadium name is Brian. And I hope to never live to see that. It will be so embarrassing. Or they have a fete in the stadium. I don't know what Brian Lara entitled to, but I'm sure that it is standard if you're naming a venue after somebody. I would want to think that is pretty standard to say, well, all right, well, here what? This is where you could come any event, anything. This is your seat. So imagine Kes Tuesdays and Brian, our daughter, want to go. And he send them down the road for his 6th seat. And then they tell him, nah, you don't really know Lara, you know. You don't really know Lara. You make no runs. You can't come in. I think it's sad and it's embarrassing. And according to this contributor here, this fellow on Facebook, I agree with him that one of the issues with youths now is that they overly entitled, or they act entitled, but the issue is that they act entitled about things that they have no right to or no claim to. I think it's pretty obvious that Hasely Crawford have a claim to the stadium, particularly for the things that they promised him in the agreement they made when they named the thing after him. I think that's pretty obvious, but the stadium is a place like that. I remember administering a sponsorship thing for Sony for that same World Cup that you're talking about. If it wasn't the women's, it was the women's World Cup. I'm with my wife and I ever tell you that story. But no, actually it's not the women's World Cup. It was the qualifying games for one of the for Soca Warriors. The Hex tournament, last tournament for the World Cup qualifying. And I go in TTFA office or TTFF or whatever it was them time, which is an annoying thing because I don't know why you can't do this 2 weeks before the game. They're doing this the day before the game or the morning of the game, and people haggling there for tickets. And I talking to these men, salute Molino and Mr. Molino. I think he passed away now, but a few of them around the TTFF. And I come in now, because this is how we get paid, right? Sony sponsor the national team, and we get a percentage of what, or we bill based on a percentage of whatever they pay to TTFF. And then any activities that we have to do, we charge them for it. So we had to get Laventry rhythm section to play in the games. We had to get somebody to do the perimeter boards around the field. We get a percentage of that. We set up a tent, doing little activities outside. We get paid for that, right? But I have to provide evidence to these people in Sony. They were operating out of Puerto Rico. I have to provide evidence that I do the work, right? And part of the work is that I collect, I think it was 15 tickets for covered stands, 30 tickets for uncovered stands, 10 VIP tickets or hospitality suite passes, and let me say 10 parking spots, right? But TTFF, if you ever watch a FIFA documentary, they give out more parking spots to sponsors than the stadium have, right? Around the covered stands for sure. And then, of course, they cater for minister go on this and the minister entourage at a park. They don't cater for none of them things. So when you go to, you bargaining for things. Now, what Sony wanted to do was to take all the hospitality passes and all the tickets and give it to people like Courts and PriceSmart and Standards. That's the people who buy in from them, right? So they want to treat their clients. So now when I go on there, I supposed to get 10 covered tickets. I cannot go back in the office and tell them, well, I only get 4 because them done promise Court CEO and PriceSmart purchasing. Listen, problems. When I go on there, I used to walk with the contract in my pocket every time and say, listen. What I here to collect is 15 tickets. Them men telling me, well, you could get 8. And they say, well, the parking passes, you will get 2. I was like, no. Let me don't go through that, because if I show up with 2 out of the 10, I could get 20% of the money I supposed to get. You understand? I need to make sure I need to take pictures of 10 tickets, send them my invoice, and tell them, like, who you want me to distribute these to. But, I mean, I could understand me fighting that battle, or Sony, a global or international company, sadly having to fight that battle. But it's extra sad when you see somebody like Hasely Crawford having to go through that. So, anyway, All right, so to close off this episode, I want to end with culture, right? Article from Michael Mondesi, of course, in the Express here that says balladeer Kelwyn Hutcheon. It says, Kelwyn Hutcheon will say thank you and good night for one last time on our public stage tonight. You see, when you're talking about people like them, right, I had to make sure I try and read this properly, right? So let's stay with me, right? As a man well-spoken, and I mean very, very proper, I had to read this right. The 88-year-old balladeer is set to deliver his final full concert performance at Carols by Candlelight Yuletide Showcase at the bandstand at the President's House this evening. Admission is free with a $2 donation to help pay for the thousands of candles that will be given out. Relaxing in his music room in Cascade on Wednesday night, the singer of that nostalgic Christmas favorite, Oh How I Wish I Were a Child Again, said the time has come to step away and slow down. He said, I made that decision and I've accepted it. And Noddin Hutchinson said with great conviction, as if needing to convince himself as much as those in the room of his choice. Hutchinson has had an outstanding career in music. The charismatic crooner who got his start as a 6-year-old performing for family and friends at a birthday party, has had an impressive catalog that includes Kiss Me for Christmas and Happy New Year, both written by TNT national anthem composer Pat Castani, and At Christmas Your Heart Goes Home by Everett Leon. Appearing on Trinidad radio as a preteen in the 1940s, Hutcheon was dubbed the Boy Wonder of Trinidad by the late radio announcer Sam Ghani. He went on to perform at virtually every venue on the island, including the Capri Nightclub, Country Club, Perseverance Club, Tavern on the Green, Hotel Normandy, and Hilton, during a remarkable 7-decade run. He says, I don't feel as well as I used to feel when I was 5 or 6 years younger. None of us, Kelvin, none of us. You have to know when to slow down. Performing in public is not an easy thing. People may feel you have a little talent, so you could just go and do it, but it's not that easy. Between the preparation and rehearsals alone, it takes a lot. Hutcheon, the recipient of the Hummingbird Silver Medal in 2015, says tonight's performance will be an emotional one, but he was quick to point out that he will still be available to perform at private events. Kelvin. The Queen's Royal College old boy added with a stage-worthy smile, I was thinking of opening with I'll Be Home for Christmas, maybe do Kiss Me for Christmas, and end with Happy Holiday, and make it make sense as it flows. He said referring to some scribbles on piece of paper. So this was Kelwyn Hutcheon again. He said being compared to like our local Frank Sinatra, the Boy Wonder, and some of these songs you would know for a long, long time. Like a lot of his songs are staples in our Christmas, and a lot of us identify or can identify what songs make us feel like Christmas. He's talk about that a lot, and I always talk about parang and soca parang being a big part of what we do for Christmas, but we don't talk enough about our local, what you want to call them, Christmas ballads or Christmas carol type songs. And I feel like some of these songs really put us in that Christmas mood as well. So some of it is, you have to be out on the quality of these, right? But some of these you should remember, just as you record it, to find a good version of it, I had to go Radio Trinidad, and I couldn't make the trip to Radio Trinidad. So a whole lot of YouTube, right? But tell me how much of these you could remember.
Church bells are ringing, Santa Claus on his way. Merry Christmas to you, dear. Happy holidays. My heart is singing as the hours slip away. Merry Christmas to you, dear. Happy holidays. And in the choir you can hear the voices of the angels. Rejoice, rejoice. My heart is singing as the clock ticks away. Merry Christmas to you, dear. Happy holidays.
that you're hearing is a great Robert Monroe, right?
And in the choir, you can hear the voices of the angels. Rejoice, rejoice. My heart is singing as the clock ticks away. Merry Christmas to you, dear. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday.
Again, all kind of threats about Christmas time and only playing Kaiso and Calypso and Soca, and I ain't playing no Christmas music. So whatever Christmas music, whole Christmas music, right?
I'm dreaming tonight of a place I love even more than I usually do. And although I know it's a long way back, I promise you I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the trees. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams.
You start to cry now, you know. All you ask for Christmas music, you cry now.
I wanted to tell you just how much I care, but I just didn't know what to say. I've wanted to kiss you, but just didn't dare. So I've waited for Christmas to say, kiss me for Christmas and say just hold me and tell me you're mine. Church bells are ringing, the world is in love, hearts filled with kindness, there's joy up above, music and laughter, and you in my arms. kiss me for Christmas, and then kiss me for Christmas again.
Only over Christmas? Before we get into Christmas, right, and the last one I want to leave you on with Kelwyn Hutcheon, I want to play a song, which is one of my favorite songs, right? And I'm not talking about just favorite kaiso or soca or calypso, just one of my favorite songs, one of the best pieces of music or the best things put together, especially with jazz music. Like I promised myself that I was talking to Stacey the other day, and I say, you know what, we're talking about the Etienne show and thing, we must do more things like that, right? Outside of broaden our boundaries of culture, you know what I mean? So I promise, we figure out a way to get a show like I've won at Bigfoot show where we could see jazz musicians or singers like herself, people like Tony Woodruff and them on stage and in show, right? And this is one of my favorite songs to hear anybody perform, anybody who's a jazz type performer. I love to hear them perform this, and I want to give you this one by Kelwyn Hutcheon as well. His version, right?
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? But don't change one hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
Don't get all warm. I feel like we're getting warm and cozy. Don't get too warm and cozy, right? It's still a podcast, right? You know, love making a Christmas episode. But I'm leaving only with this one, which would be, well, I guess my favorite. I am assuming this would be his biggest hit as well. But I don't know. I don't know where I may be in right or wrong about that. Now, that's his favorite one to me because so much of big songs he had. I'm not sure which one would be classed as his favorite, but this one would be certainly one that bring back some memories, right?
Oh, how I wish I were a child again. Red poinsettias keep reminding me Christmas time is just around the bend. Soon the feeling will be heavenly. The kids anticipate vacation time. All Christmas chores must wait a while. If they don't send their letters, bells won't chime. Oh, how I wish I were a child. It's still some days away. When will it ever come? View curtains up and down today, linoleum, cobwebs on play. Mom notices, oh gosh, insists that I must stay to help whitewash. Oh, how I wish I were a child again, where poinsettias keep reminding me Christmas time is just around the bend. Soon the feeling will be heavenly. The kids anticipate vacation time. All Christmas chores must wait a while. If they don't send their letters, bells won't chime. Oh, how I wish I were a child. If they don't send their letters, bells won't chime. Oh, how I wish I were a child. Beneath the pitch oil tin, the fire's burning bright. The tree, the creche, the bay within Christmas Eve night. They send me off to sleep, certain I'm out of sight. I stay awake and peep till morning light. Oh, how I wish I were a child again, where poinsettias keep reminding me Christmas time is just around the bend. Soon the feeling will be heavenly. The kids anticipate vacation time. All Christmas chores must wait a while. If they don't send their letters, bells won't chime. Oh, how I wish I were a child. If they don't send their letters, bells won't chime.
Oh, how I wish I were a child. I want to get a little last bellowing part of the song, but now watch the time and I realize we read it. So I will talk to all you next week. That should be it before Christmas. We should wrap up here. I don't think so. I good. We should be here every week. All through Christmas, I'm still here to make up for lost episodes. But I will talk to all you next week. I'll have a safe week and a productive week. And I'll keep Patrice in all your prayers. I keep that family in all your prayers. But I will see you all next week.